This is the Freeman. The Combine's reckoning has come. Yeah, well, I'm going to be talking about Half-Life today, so I'm in a good mood. We'll be discussing that Hatman Saw Jay and Silent Bob remake, or reboot? What was it again? I forget.
Technically both, but the name is Reboot.
There we go. Plus, we'll be talking about Blizzard sucking it up. We'll be talking about, well, Bethesda sucking it up. I'm surprised we're not talking about EA sucking it up, but we will be doing an announcement of the winners of the Inglewood art contest as well. So, gonna be a fun show. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin. Snooch to the nooch.
Yeah. Welcome to Micah and The Hatman. So let's go ahead and get it started. Hatman, your pick of the week. Go for it.
So, I saw Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. That wasn't even really pick of the week. It's more like pick of last week. Because that's when I saw it. Micah, have you seen any Kevin Smith movies?
I'm a big fan of the Askew universe, and I have to look away from skinny Kevin Smith because it just doesn't look right.
Okay, so if you're a big fan of the Askew universe, yes, you are going to enjoy the hell out of this. This is simultaneously a reboot, a remake, and a sequel to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And it references pretty much everything in Kevin Smith's catalog, including shit like Yoga Hosers and Tusk.
Ugh.
And on top of that, it canonizes Zack and Miri Make a Porno as part of the Askew universe. Because Justin Long's flamboyantly gay character from the reunion, yeah, he's a lawyer now, and he shows up. So, yeah. Anyway, it's fan service all the way through. It is, if you really, really like that sort of stuff, this movie is made specifically for you. If you don't know any damn thing about Kevin Smith or the Askew universe or anything like that, you're probably not going to enjoy this fucking movie. But it's funny, it's fan servicey. They reference fucking everything. I mean, even Ben Affleck playing Batman, of course. Like one of the best fucking lines is fuck, I forget who. Damn it, Ben Affleck's character in Chasing Amy. What was his name?
I actually can't remember.
I fucking forget.
I haven't seen Chasing Amy in a long time.
I haven't seen Chasing Amy in forever either. She shows up, by the way. You find out who Amy is. And also, what's her name? Alyssa shows up too. Holden. There we go. Jesus Christ. Holden McNeil. He's got a kid at this point, and he's like, I realize that I am not the Bruce Wayne of my story. I'm the Thomas Wayne. Or maybe Bruce Wayne's mother. I don't remember her name for some reason. That was like one of the best fucking lines. But yeah, no, they reference Dogma too. Yep, very directly reference Dogma, as in Matt Damon interlude. It's great. Mark Hamill is not in it as Cockknocker again, which is kind of disappointing. That's really the biggest disappointment of the movie. They have a Stan Lee tribute. Chris Hemsworth has a cameo, and it's great. And Jesus Christ, there's so much to it. Like if you go and watch the movie, you will have a great fucking time. But again, I reiterate, this is for people who know the Askewniverse and appreciate it, because this is ultimately like the Avengers Endgame of the Askewniverse. That's the closest thing I can compare it to. It's wonderful. It's hilarious. I love it. I hate the fact that they're doing a very limited release for it. Like they're doing a road show now. They had like preview screenings, and now they're doing a road show, and it only opens up in select theaters and select cities now. But once it's available to stream, watch it. It's funny as hell. It's funny as hell.
There you go. All right. My pick is the best game ever. At least in my opinion.
Half-Life 2 is the best game ever?
Yes. Easily the best first-person shooter. In fact, I can't even think of a first-person shooter that can even compete with it. Mostly because everything that people talk about BioShock doing, this game did like 4 years prior. You don't have BioShock without Half-Life 2. You really don't. So, Half-Life, I don't know how many people have even played Half-Life, because Half-Life is over... God, how old is Half-Life? I actually need to look that up. Like, it came out in the late 90s. 1998. So, Half-Life is 20 years old.
Oh, maybe too.
And then Half-Life 2 it came out in 2004, so 6 years later. Unfortunately, Half-Life 2 Episode 3 is vaporware at this point, but it was supposed to be out in 2007. But, of course, never happened. But Half-Life 2 was doing things in regards to visual storytelling without dialogue that a lot of other games didn't really pick up on until much later. And, you know, that's one thing that's actually been noticed about a lot of Western games, is very dialogue heavy. And Half-Life 2, everything about the universe, everything, you know, you can gather just by looking at it. You don't need somebody to sit you down and tell you exactly what's going on. The world speaks for itself. And that is one thing that I find so freaking brilliant about it, is it was doing that long before the rest of this. And there's still a lot of shooters that don't come close to it in regards to that ability. Not to mention, one thing I always really loved about it was that the gameplay of the game gets you kind of settled in to how you think the game is going to go for the rest of it, and then flips the script on you. One that I always found interesting... Oh, I am never playing Hunt Down the Freeman. Don't even... No. No. Never happening. But the one thing that I always found interesting about Half-Life 2, the one thing that always caught me about it, was just exactly that. You think you know how things are going to go, and then when you're settled, it flips and changes the pace on you, and changes the way that you look at the game. That's something that you don't really see enough in video games. You kind of, couple hours in after the initial tutorial, you settle in, and then you're comfortable with how everything else is going to happen. And Half-Life 2, it never happens. Once you start getting settled into the use of the vehicle, you're out of the vehicle, you're back into what seems like a lab, and then Ravenholm. And then you're like, oh shit, this game's going to be horrifying now. Well, at least I get saw blades. And then that doesn't happen anymore. Then you're in a mine shaft trying to get out of it. Not a ton of supplies. Oh god, this is starting to turn into survival horror. Nope. And it just continues on from there. Then there's the ant lions and that vehicle sequence. You know, that's honestly the wonderful thing about Half-Life 2 in general, is just you can never really settle. And the story of it is just brilliant without being overbearing. It understands that gameplay is king, and you can tell a story without constantly miring people down in dialogue. In fact, the only times that you have to sit and listen are whenever the G-Man shows up. So, it's constantly changing the game on you. And keeps you from getting too comfortable because it's an uncomfortable story. I mean, basically, for those who don't know, Half-Life 2 takes a lot of inspiration from George Orwell's 1984 and War of the Worlds, both in its art design and in the storytelling. If you haven't really played these games yet, you should. They're brilliant. They both are. I wouldn't say subverts expectations, by the way. I would say that it exceeds expectations. You think you know, you can predict how this game is going to play, and then it changes the game on you. That I think is a good thing. Subversion is something where it changes the game and, you know, it's kind of left up to interpretation. This is basically about consistent improvement as you play through it. And that's something I love about it. That's part of the reason why I think it's the best game ever. I haven't really seen a video game that's been able to do that before or since. You know, even the first Half-Life didn't even do it. You know, the first Half-Life you can kind of get settled. You know, there's not really a whole lot of things that get introduced during the course of that game that really... it doesn't feel like it's constantly reinventing itself as you play. You know? The only downside to it, because I would recommend buying Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2, is that, as I mentioned before, Half-Life Episode 3 is vaporware. By all indications, it doesn't look like Valve is interested in doing and finishing 2 Episode 3, not since Left 4 Dead 2 came out. And Portal. They did Portal 2 because they knew that would be a big money maker, and it was. In fact, the odd thing about this is Half-Life is not Valve's most popular franchise. At least it wasn't at the time, because the whole cake meme thing happened and Still Alive and all that other stuff. You know, it's one of those things where it's kind of unfortunate that this game wasn't more popular than it was. I remember I did an article for Blistered Thumbs back in the day that never saw the light of day called, or basically saying that Half-Life 2 is the Citizen Kane of video games. It is exactly what, it is the pinnacle of the art form. It shows what the art form is capable of if you put all of your creative energies into it. So, it's unfortunate it'll never really go as far as it can, but maybe someday Gabe Newell will say, okay, I'm already richer than Donald Trump, which he actually is. His net worth is higher. I'm already richer than Donald Trump. I'm still only in my 40s or 50s. And if I did Half-Life 3, it would break the internet. Fuck it. Let's do it. So, but I don't think it'll ever happen, to be honest with you. For me, it's one of my top 5 games of all time. I think easily one of the best video games of all time. I rank it as number 1. I would have to say it, like, if I were to tell you what I think the top 5 of all time would probably be, well, I think the top 2 are Half-Life 2 and Shadow of the Colossus. So, yeah. The unfortunate thing is Valve cannot count to 3. It is what it is. Needless to say, though, I don't know what Half-Life 2 sells for on Steam. So let's find that out. $10. So basically, you could play a game that I consider to be the top game of all time for $10, and then you can get the orange box, which includes Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, and Portal for $20. Still years upon years later, because I bought the orange box when it was $60. Still years later, like, it's still amazing. And hell, right now the Half-Life bundle is on sale for less than $40, the complete bundle, which includes Team Fortress Classic, Half-Life, Half-Life Opposing Force, Blue Shift, Half-Life Source, Half-Life 2, it's like, damn, it's worthwhile. It's a phenomenal game. So, all right. Hatman, are you still with me?
Do you want to know what's not worthwhile?
What?
Playing Half-Life 1 on the Sega Dreamcast.
I forgot that was a thing.
Well, it was, and then it got canceled, but the ROM got dumped online. Holy fuck. The load time, I'm serious. In between sections, it takes about a minute and a half to load. Constantly. Play it on PC, people.
Oh, absolutely. PC Master Race whenever it comes to Half-Life, man. I've also heard that there's been, like, some HD mods for Half-Life 2, in which case, like, that's my only criticism of it, is that even back in the day, the graphics were a little low res, so there could be a little polishing up there, but... Yep, Greenbox Boy says here in the chat, and I think this is a really good point, Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 are, in my opinion, the reason why the PC market is alive today. That market died during 2000 through 03. Sure, it wasn't a big return in 04, but it was the first step. I would agree with that. Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 were definitely games, like, when they came out, it's like, yeah, you have to have this on PC. If you get the console version, you are shorting yourself. And sure enough, the PC versions were so far superior to the console ports, it was ridiculous. And I know, because I had the Half-Life 2 port on my Xbox, and then I bought it for PC like a day later. I'm like, yeah, fuck this. So, all right, let's continue, because again, that's my pick of the week. And if you don't buy it, if you haven't played it, man, you have no excuses, man. I think it's honestly almost a crime to have a PC, a gaming PC, and not have the Half-Life games. Though I will say, in my own shame,
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
I can get fucking Half-Life and Half-Life 2 playing on my goddamn 2012 MacBook Pro.
Yep.
If I can get Half-Life to play on a Mac, let alone a 7-year-old Mac, you have no excuse.
Yeah. Though admittedly they did end up there was a push for Steam on Mac a few years ago, and like they re-optimized the source version in Half-Life 2 plus Team Fortress. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. Just like they got it for Linux too.
Yep.
So there really is no excuse, unless of course you have the aforementioned Dreamcast, in which case that is the only excuse that I will even moderately accept.
Yep, agreed. All right, let's go ahead and move into our first topic of the week. Blizzard's distractions. So we've talked a bit about Blizzard being fucking stupid whenever it comes to this whole China thing. And Lord knows that has not changed. Hatman, if you would, tell them what was leaked this week.
Well, two things. The first is Overwatch 2, which we had been hearing rumblings about for a while, last couple months. But now it's pretty much confirmed at this point. It's coming. But also, Diablo 4. Not the one that you need a mobile phone for, apparently. Because they must have figured out that not everyone has phones.
And not everyone wants to play their Diablo on a mobile phone on top of that.
Why in the hell would anyone want to play Diablo on a mobile phone? Just why? Literally why? Anyway, yeah. So we're getting a follow up to Blizzard's latest smash hit, and the next version of one of their old classics. Uh, Hopefully without the abomination that was the Real Money Auction House.
Yes.
But all this prepping for BlizzCon, which is going to be a shit show.
Oh, yes.
Especially in light of the whole, Chinese Cuck Simulator 2020 thing that's being prepped. And did I mention that their infamous Q&A is having questions screened for the first time ever?
You did not mention that, but that is something worth noting.
Yeah. As in, you have to submit your questions beforehand.
Yeah. They are doing everything
Blizzard,
that they
what
can.
the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, well, they're doing everything they can to distract from the controversy and pretend it's not there. And that's basically it. I mean, they do this all the fucking time. Every single time Blizzard gets in trouble, they try to announce something to distract away from the fact that there's a controversy going around. There was some, I don't remember what the exact controversy was, but that was when they announced that Tracer was gay. Because they knew that the game journalists would eat it up and then would distract from it. Then, when there was another controversy going on, they said, oh, now Soldier 76 is gay. Or bisexual or something. That's all they do, is they never address controversies. They just find something to distract. And now there's a leak that Overwatch 2 is happening and Diablo 4 is happening right as the controversy is going on. Who the fuck did they think is going to buy that? You can only do it so many times.
I don't think anyone's really buying it, but I think their love for the games outweighs their hatred for Blizzard's current bullshit.
I'll admit this.
It's sort of like,
I'm a big StarCraft fan. If they announced that, yeah, Ghost is a thing, I'd still be pissed off.
and it kind of reminds me of the people who say that they hate Walmart so much, they don't want to fucking shop there, but then they go there every week because, they just have the best prices. I mean, I hate doing it, but I'm going to keep doing it. Like, fuck you. Put your money where your wallet is.
Yeah.
Put your money where your wallet is. Put your money where your mouth is. Jesus Christ. I can't even think today. But yeah, it's... No. I mean, I'm seriously hoping that the plan that somebody on Twitter cooked up to hand out free Hong Kong shirts. I hope that actually comes to fruition. I hope that fucking happens. Because at this point, they need it. Like, this is... They're expecting it all to blow over, and it doesn't need to blow over.
Servant of God donated $1 says, spoiler, it's not, none of it is. Also remember, all these characters are straight in China. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very good point. They basically, I mean, here in America, they did it basically because Tracer is the poster character. Because she's the cute one and all this other stuff, and people loved her right out of the gate because of her attitude. It's like, yeah, we're gonna make her gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I always find it I thought it was the stereotypical move. It's like, you're gonna make the short-haired girl the lesbian. Fuck off, really? Always hated that.
It's like you can't be straight and have short hair if you're a woman. What the hell?
Yeah, that actually kind of bugs me because I like short-haired women. So I'm like, What?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. Yeah, it's childish and it's silly and it's not going to work for long. You know, they're in a position where they just constantly are trying this. It's I don't know what they expect. Like Diablo 4 is going to have to be perfect coming right out of the gate. It's going to have to be. You're going to have everybody's favorite classes in there. And you're going to have it so that they're enjoyable to play, and it's going to have to be as dark as Diablo 2 was, and so on and so forth for people to really get really behind this and forget about all of your, selling out to China. So I hate it. I really like just more often than not. I honestly want the Saudis to get really big into Overwatch, just so my prediction of them turning Soldier 76 into a Muslim guy and he chucks Tracer off a roof.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh jeez. Sorry, I want it to happen just because how wrong it would be. Oh god. I have no cultural sensitivity. I really don't. Oh shit.
Not in the slightest.
No. Let's move on. All right. So, topic number 2. Fallout 76. How many times have we talked about Fallout 76 on this channel?
Too many for my liking. And y'all know I don't like Fallout.
So, Fallout First is a thing. Basically what it is you get private servers where you can just have you and your friends play. You get unlimited storage for crafting components in your own scrapbox container. A survival tent, which is basically a new fast travel point. You get 1,650 atoms per month to use in the Atomic Shop, which is basically their microtransaction store. You get the old school Ranger outfit from New Vegas, and then some icons and emotes that are only available to members. Not to mention, if you do it, you get an icon next to your name. So this has been rather hilariously mocked by the player base, because now if you play in public servers with that icon next to your name, you are getting the shit griefed out of you.
Now they know who to bully.
Exactly. So, yeah. But this is the thing. I want people to think about this for a second. Fallout 76 is how many dollars is this?
Fallout 76, if it's free, it costs too much.
It's $20 on PC.
Way
So
too much.
not terrible, all things considered. For a game of this style, for a survival game, that's not bad at all. That's about as much as Conan Exiles costs, and I didn't think it played that badly. I didn't think it played that well. You know, it's something you could have fun with some friends on. And and the one thing about it that I liked about it above other story games is that it had a story, or other survival games, it had a story to it. So it kept the game moving. But I could see how it would lose its appeal really quickly. But here's the thing. $100 for a private server per year. $100. That's too expensive. Even with all the other stuff added in, it's too expensive. Because imagine having that plus your Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus subscription. PlayStation Plus is how much per year? 60? I think something like that. So is Xbox Live.
Something like that.
Yeah. So that's $60 a year plus another $100 on top of it. That's excessive if you're a console player. If you're a PC player, you can get private servers in games like Rust or Conan Exiles or even fucking Minecraft. Well, Minecraft doesn't even cost anything anymore. You know, it's like it's ridiculous. It's way too much. Way too much money. So, I think Broken X Scale in this chat says it perfectly. Bethesda's going waylaying, and it's going to backfire on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say that there is generally a failure amongst certain companies to really grasp the online market and the MMO sort of feel, and I think that they need to honestly stop. Because they do it as a cash cow, and it always seems to fall short. It really does. Because on initial look, Fallout 76 looked like an interesting idea. But then my question was, so am I going to have the option of private servers? Nope. Everybody plays public. What if I don't want to? Too bad. You know, and that's something I'm just kind of getting in general. Like, that's an issue that I'm also having, like, with Sea of Thieves, is the ability to play, like, PvE would be great in that game. Like, it's the only thing that it's missing, in my opinion. But you don't have that either. You know, I think that cooperative games should be, you know, cool like that. But yeah. They announced the Outer Worlds got released. Also, the Outer Worlds is on Game Pass. I will download it if people want me to review it. And if you would, let me ask this. If you want me to review the Outer Worlds for the podcast next week, I would ask that you throw a couple bucks in the tip jar for me, just to kind of, you know, make it worth it. Because there is writing that I need to do, but I would be willing to put it off if there's, you know, if people would be willing to just throw like $10 in the tip jar for me. So that's just that would be appreciated. So if not, it is what it is. But we'll go from there. But I mean, a Fallout co-op game is pretty fucking cool sounding, in my opinion. You know, because it's a great universe. So, but on the flip side, I don't really need to do that. I mean, I've got Gears of War. Hatman hasn't had the chance to play it with me yet, but Brainbox and I played through the campaign of Gears 5, and we could tell you guys right now, it's fucking awesome. It's the best co-op campaign since 3. So, yeah. But then again, that's the beautiful thing, in my opinion, of competition. And that's the cool thing about the game industry, and that's the one thing that I still love about the game industry, is it's so fucking competitive. You know, and it should be. It really should. Okay. Final topic. Are you ready, Hatman?
I guess I don't have much of a choice, do I?
Wow, way to be enthused about our comic.
Well, go on with it.
All right. Talon Silverbane says, consider yourselves tipped, so that's what's happening next week, as I will have a review of The Outer Worlds. I will download it today. So, this week, we will be, right now, actually, we're going to be announcing the winners of the Englewood Art Contest. First, I want to apologize for this taking as long as it has, but we just did this this Friday, and let's reiterate just exactly what all of our our top 5 will be getting. We ended up getting, I think, close to 10 submissions or something like that. So when I made sure everybody's was there, it was a tough decision for our artists. I actually had to break the tie a couple times, and I didn't want to. So, but for all 5 of you that we discussed today, you're getting featured in the director's cut. You are in there. The top 3, we're going to give you a free comic book, digital. So really that's for second and third place. And then for the first place winner, you are getting a Windy City special, which includes the t-shirt, the poster, the physical director's cut of which your comic or which your submission will be in, and on top of that, you will also be getting what did I miss something?
Digital copy.
Oh yes, the digital copy is a backup. So, all right. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, oh, hold on a second. There we are. So, for 5th place, if my thing would work, we have Crush Comics' entry. So congratulations, Crush Comics. You are the 5th place winner. For our 4th place one, and this is one that we all really liked, because it tells a story, oddly enough, from Star Storyteller. 3rd place, Justin Anglin. This one was one of my personal favorites. Because, again, tells a story with what it is. It kind of gives you an idea of what the comic book is like. I love the concept on this one. I think it could be a great cover, you know? 2nd place. This one also is a great looking one. I love the graffiti look. This is from Mr. Venerables. So congratulations, my friend. You got 2nd place. But... and this is an Angelica-sized butt, that's for sure. I think we need a drum roll. Hatman, do we need a drum roll?
Well,
I was just gonna play one, but
this is what you get. You get the cheap Hatman version.
Anyway, our winner is Waistcoats. For her entry here, where you've got Angelica and Elijah beating the shit out of a Bobo. So, Waistcoats, I know you're listening. Congratulations, you did it. You are our winner. You will be getting a free copy of the director's cut of the comic. You will be getting a t-shirt and a poster as well, and of course a digital backup if you just want to have the director's cut as a collector's bit. So, congratulations, everybody in the chat. If you would congratulate her, she did a great job on this. Well, really, congratulations to all 5 people who did this. You all put in good work for this. I'm really happy to get to feature you guys in the director's cut of this comic, and it's you guys are awesome, every single one of you. Thank you. So, let's go ahead and also say one more thing, is that some of you might be aware that lately Mike S. Miller has treated some comic skaters like shit, and on top of that, he has also been locking people out of Drawn and Quartered. Well, myself and some other people within Comic Skate are obviously frustrated by this, and we were talking behind the scenes. So some alternatives are going to be coming up for those of you who want to do these sorts of things. Hatman, if you could, Waistcoat says, can she get the Windy City cot sent to her brother? He really helped her with the look of the combat. So Waistcoats, Hatman, get in touch with one another, and we'll get that sorted out for you. But anyway, so with Mike S. Miller, what we're going to be doing with Comicsgate as a group is we are going to be creating some alternatives. So 2 shows will be coming out. Yellow Flash will be doing a show this week called Drawing Fire. where Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, and a couple other people will be there to compete again, and you guys get to vote on who the winner is. And it's going to be like Drawn and Quartered said it was going to be. And the same will be done by War Campaign as well, with a show called the Champions Challenge. They'll be doing that once a month. And I will be on rotating hosting duties, possibly for either show. We'll see what they want to do. So, needless to say, we're super excited about it because it's really giving. And here's the reason we do it. It's not completely to dig at Mike S. Miller. Not completely. It's kind of to troll him. I ain't gonna lie. But it's mostly because we think that you guys, as fans, are being shafted by Mike and Edwin. And my general thought on Edwin is, fuck you, you asshole. But, we want to make sure that you guys are getting the things that you want from those of us who are of the artistic variety. We don't want you guys to feel like you're in the dark. We want you guys to understand you are as important to this community as we creators are. Without you guys buying our books and supporting our work, we wouldn't be anywhere. We love you guys. And we want you guys to understand that. And we want to give you the things that you want. So that's what we're going to do. So thank you again to Yellow Flash and War Campaign for wanting to host this, for taking what I had said and really running with it. Because Flash has a bigger channel than I do. War Campaign gets more live stream audience than I do. I'm happy that the fans of comic books are going to get what they're looking for. Because that's what Comicsgate is about. And I'll be damned that it goes any other direction, that's for sure. Alright. Also, one more announcement before we go into the Q&A. We'll do 20 minutes of Q&A for you guys. The scripting for 3 nights, 4 days, as of 3 o'clock this morning, is finished. Hatman will be editing it soon. Once Doc Salem concludes for my artist, Preston Acevedo, we're going to continue working on the pages, and we're going to continue to build the hype until February when that campaign will launch. So, but until then, do not forget, you can still back Englewood. Inglewood is going to stay open until we fulfill. We've decided we're going to do that. I mean, Indiegogo basically fucked up closing it anyway, so why not roll with it, right? So, we are $350 away from getting Eric Weathers on as our letterer. We'd really like, I would like to hit at least 15,000, if at all possible, simply because that gives us the chance to, I think that puts us in a much better financial spot. Wouldn't you say, Hatman?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, we love you guys, though, seriously. Let's go ahead and get straight into the Q&A. Once again, congratulations to Waistcoats. I'm going to leave her art up there for you guys to check it out. You can also check her out on Instagram. If I remember right, it is waistcoats_r_my_weakness. Follow her there. She puts her art up there. She's done some great stuff for Inktober. So, fantastic work. Not to mention, for those of you who are in the top 5 of this, if there is a Twitter or Instagram that you would like us to put in the book so people can follow you, let us know and we will do that for you. Absolutely. So, all right. Whew, let's hit the Q&A. Hatman, and yeah, I'm going to leave this up for Waistcoats because I think this is phenomenal art. I mean, not to mention, you captured Angelica's booty perfectly. I mean, what's not to love?
Oh my god.
I'm tasteless, I know. Oh, goodness. All right, let's hit the Q&A, folks. First, from the Discord server, we've got Talon Silverbane saying, recently got the Xbox Pass for $1 this month to play Outer Worlds, which is a great game. Since you've had the pass as well, I assume Hat does too. What other games on it would you recommend, and is this service worth it? Also, go play Outer Worlds. Sea of Thieves is a lot of fun if you have people to play it with. I played it with Brainbox. I played it with... I want to play it with Hatman when he has a chance. When he has a chance to join us. And then Darth Bobcat has joined us as well. I want to get like a freaking giant ship going at some point with 4 players. I love Waistcoats. It's like, I most certainly did that on purpose. That's my girl. She has good taste. What can I say? But yeah, Gears 5 and Gears 4 are both really, really worth it. Crackdown 3 is a lot of fun, especially in co-op. There's probably other games that I'm forgetting. Is the Master Chief Collection is not on there for PC yet, but it is on console. I'm hoping that when they're working on the PC port for that right now. So Servant of
Yes,
God.
and once that ends, or once that finishes, they'll have Reach on there too. So.
Yep. Servant of God
Which is
donates $1 and says, thoughts on episode 9 expecting to bomb. I'm calling a heart attack for Disney. I'll believe it when I see it. It's a Star Wars film, so I don't know about
I
that.
don't think it'll bomb.
Yeah, I don't think it'll bomb.
I don't think it will. I think
I
you're
think
gonna.
I think it'll
I think you're gonna have a similar
underperform.
situation. I don't think it'll even underperform. I think it'll outdo The Last Jedi. I think it'll have a similar situation like you had with Revenge of the Sith after Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith was not as profitable as The Phantom Menace, but it made more money than Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to go out and see this just because it's the last one of the Skywalker saga. They want to see how it ends. I just want to know. So, that.
Okay. Punished Alistair asks, have you ever heard of the Shin Megami Tensei games? And if so, what do you think about them? Would you consider giving them a shot if you haven't? So I played Persona. I didn't like them. I know that they're part of that universe, but Shin Megami Tensei is a little different. I know that there was one that Dante from Devil May Cry shows up in that I would be interested in playing, but I don't really have the time for a JRPG right now. So I'll have to give it a shot at some point. You ever tried them, Hatman?
I have not. I've almost wanted to, if only because mostly Persona, mostly because I was told Persona 4 Golden is like one of the best PS Vita games, and of course the PS Vita doesn't have very many games at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to try it, but at the same time I'm not huge on JRPGs, so nah.
Yeah, I just thought that Nocturne had like a really cool art style. So. All right. What else we got? Is there anything else from the server? No, that was the last one from the server for now. Okay, so from the chat, Matchstick asks, thoughts on a conversation between Thanos and DC's death from the Sandman. Hatman, you're more of a Sandman fan than I am. You could probably answer that better than I could.
Conversation between Thanos and death from Sandman. It almost have to be MCU Thanos, I think. I don't know if you could really have.
I think it would be an interesting. It would be an interesting contrast, because Death in Sandman is just like this waifish little goth girl. Very different than the death that Thanos is like used to. So he'd be towering over her. And if I remember right, she's a lot more aloof, isn't she?
Yeah. It's like, it's weird because I think Thanos would underestimate her, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know how a conversation would go between them.
I don't either. That would be very strange.
I'm at a loss. I'm at a total loss.
Gaiman or Starlin would have to write it.
I'm at a total loss.
Like, Gaiman or Starlin would have to write it. Have to. Anybody else would fuck it up. So, and I'm saying that as somebody who is known for his writing skills. Like I don't even think I could do it justice. I really don't. And I, like, again, people tend to react to my work with holy shit. So I actually sent the script to 3 nights to a couple friends of mine who are writers, and they're like, holy cow, dude, there's a lot going on here. And they're like, we're kind of surprised at how deep this is. I'm like, when I say I'm the best, I mean it. That's what I strive for. Every time I put hand to keyboard is being the best writer. I want to be the best in the world someday. I want to be called the next Warren Ellis. I will not rest until it happens. So, all right. Let's see here. I'm Your Pepper wants to know, will we be getting another My Favorite Nightmares soon? Yes. Von Klaus, writer of Monster MD, is going to be joining me on My Favorite Nightmares Hellraiser. We're hoping to try to get it done before Halloween. If not, we'll be My Favorite Nightmares is basically going to be like the horror version of Things I Love. And I am going to continue the series. I've decided on that. What I'm going to start doing is hyping it up and doing premieres for every one of those videos. And hopefully people will really enjoy them. So, but here's what I need from you guys. If you really like those videos, don't just tell me. I need you to like. I need you to share them on social media. I need you guys to be evangelists for these videos. And if they continue to do at least even like almost as good as my vlogs, man, I'll keep churning them out. But that's what I am just asking for as a creator, is for your continued support. Like, we're in a tough time on YouTube now, and the fucking algorithm is brutal, and it has been very brutal to me for the last year. So you guys can help me out in that way, I would greatly appreciate it. Everything that I do, if you really like it, don't just hang out, just smash that fucking like button. It helps us big time. So, all right. Sarcasm100 asks a related question. Once I get the money for the things I love on Venom, how would I give it to you? Mostly use PayPal. Same thing. The Streamlabs uses PayPal, so just send it that way. And he says, Persona is only barely connected to Shin Megami Tensei. Let's see here.
I'm standing by what I said. I'm not huge on JRPGs.
Teach their own. I did do a speed playthrough of Final Fantasy X recently. Beat it in like 30 hours. So, I'm Your Pepper says, I've been sharing on my DeviantArt page. Is that okay? Absolutely. Ugly Media wants to know, how would I write an ending for Batman? Like, his death? That what we mean? Or his retirement? Because that's an interesting idea. Like,
I don't know that you could write an ending to Batman, really.
Well, that's the thing, is Batman is a mantle. You know, it's an identity that you assume. And there's been some really, really good ways that it has been done. I think my favorite, oddly enough, is Arkham Knight. And I won't spoil what it is. I want people to play that game. But, yeah, that one is, that one's really good. How would I end Batman? I would not give Bruce a happy ending. Because I don't think he could ever accept one. Kingdom Come Batman, I think, is probably the most accurate in a sense. Like, he's always Batman. He just stays wily and smart and just basically understands his body can't keep up, but his mind is still as sharp as ever. That'd kind of be around the idea that I would go for. Broken X Scale says, still on a Batman kick. How do you hear? Did you guys hear the rumor of a possible Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton playing Bruce Wayne? Give it to me.
I'm all in.
Yes,
I'm all in.
Hell yes.
I will give you the entire contents of my wallet right now for that fucking movie.
Absolutely. Who plays Terry McGinnis though? Don't say Keanu Reeves.
No. Fuck. Not Tom Holland. He's been in too much shit.
I wouldn't have said.
It's gotta be someone young though.
That's generally the problem.
Oh, the sources, we got this covered. God damn it.
Don't care.
Well, still, I would take
fun
this
thought experiment.
if this is ever proposed. Yeah, if it's ever proposed, I want it. I don't know who would play Terry McGinnis though. I really don't. Probably an unknown, honestly. I think they'd be better off casting a total unknown.
Yeah. Kind of doing like what they did with Bale. Bale wasn't that big of a name.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield, my ass.
No.
You know, he's like in his mid-30s now?
Yeah. He is actually very talented as an actor, but no.
He is, yeah, but no, not for Terry McGinnis.
Leonardo Wan has one that I like. Favorite version of the devil in fiction. For me, it's Lucifer Morningstar. The Witch.
I am watching that movie for Halloween. I'm totally watching it. My favorite version? Can I be... Okay. Can I be really fucking stereotypical and say Satan in Paradise Lost?
That's nothing wrong with that. Alistair Fogel wants to know what he means by The Witch. Look up the movie The Witch and watch it.
It's stylized with two V's as the W.
Yeah. Watch it all the way to the end. It is a horrifying film. Probably one of the best horror films ever. My pick would have been Tim Curry in Legend, but this topped it with one scene.
Wouldst thou like to live?
Don't spoil it! They gotta watch it. You have to experience that movie. It is really good.
That's literally the only thing I know about that fucking movie.
You haven't seen it?
Is that one fucking line.
Oh,
no,
dude.
I haven't. I told you I'm watching it Halloween.
Oh, dude, it's so good. You're going to love it. Like, it seriously was fantastic. Like, that one, Tim Curry in Legend, Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate is really good. Yeah. Then there's Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny.
Oh, yes.
All right, we've only got a few minutes left.
He loves metal.
Horrible Entertainment says, been wondering this for a while. What's the origin of the term Chad? I have no clue.
I do. I actually know this one.
Okay.
It came from Chicago in the 90s or early 2000s. The term is originally Chad Thundercock. It was supposed to be like a derogatory term for like mid-20s, early 30s guys who were successful and could get all of the ladies. And then R9K on 4chan picked it up, and from then on it sort of became like slang for normal people, almost like normies in a way. And then the whole virgin versus Chad meme grew out of that. So there you go.
Interesting. I had no clue.
I actually know that one.
And then finally, best fighter select screen theme in a fighting game. My vote is MVC2.
Fighter select screen theme in a game.
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instincts is great. I'm actually going to go with Battle Arena Toshindens. Even though that's not the best fucking game, the music for the fighter select screen is pretty fucking cool.
There we go. Alrighty, folks. If you did not get a question answered during the course of the podcast, please let Brainbox know in the chat so he can go ahead and gather that up, and then we will answer those for the overflow this week. Bombard us with entertainment questions, please. I like those a lot more. Those are considerably less depressing. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yes. Before we go, Halloween Eve, October 30th, starting at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. I am going to be on this channel streaming Paranormal Hacktivity. I'm not doing it on my personal channel this year. I'm doing it here. So all y'all, you don't have an excuse to not show up. I'll be reading spook stories, creepypastas, trying to scare the shit out of you. If you have any requests, let me know. Like, tag me on Twitter or email me, alex@hatman.net. Let me know what you want me to read. If you have a scary story of your own that you want me to tell to people, send it to me. I'll do it. But I want you guys to have a spooky Halloween, and I want to start Halloween off right. So that's what we're going to do. Or I'm going to do. Whatever. Things. Paranormal Hativity.
There you go, folks. Alrighty, folks, we're going to go ahead and take off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to all the people who entered the Inglewood Art Contest. Once again, congratulations to Waistcoats for winning it and for getting all that cool stuff. Again, get in touch with Hatman so we can get that over to your brother. He's going to love it. That I have no doubt. So, we're going to go ahead and take off. I'm actually going to go play some more Half-Life, oddly enough. Well, actually, no, I got to download the Outer Worlds. So I'll do that, play Half-Life while it's downloading, and then play that. So, until the next time, though, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, and I'm going to cough.
We'll see you guys next week.
That.
Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.